Same satellites we use to talk to the International Space Station, that's what we'll be using to talk and track Dragon throughout its entire flight.
Alright, well, we tried to go watch the space launch today. We got here and immediately they said it was scrubbed, so this is what, the 27th of May 2020, and the next time they'll get to do it is May 30th on Saturday, but we won't be able to come and watch it because Jacelyn has something happening on. Look at there. They called in the Jeep to get the truck out of the ditch. Your daddy would have had them out of there in about 2 seconds. What the heck have they been doing? They've been doing this for like 30 minutes already. Look what it's doing to that front tire. It just straightened the truck out. It's turning the truck. Not the Jeep, I mean. I'm talking about the Jeep.
Is there something wrong with the Jeep, or is there something wrong with the truck?
I think I mean, that's a ditch over there. So I think he went to park to watch the shuttle and didn't realize and slid right into that ditch. It just keeps jerking this Jeep. I think they gave up. They need Dada to come here and help them. What'd you get so far?
I got a goodie bag, and then I got an award.
A goodie bag and an award? Oh, you got your Awana awards to put on your vest. Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Ethan has millions of these.
Yeah?
Ethan has millions of these.
Oh, where's your box? So what'd she get? She got a
free poster.
She got a poster. Her, what is that? Oh, it's. Let me see.
The Alpha Award.
Okay. Pretty cool. This must be what she. This is her Awana loot. This is what she picked out.
Is that where she went in that website and picked all
Yeah,
that
she
stuff
went
up?
on the website and picked out all of her fun stuff. So, let's see what she got. Any chocolate? I think it's just candy, but there's not. I don't think there's any chocolate.
Ate all the candy.
What'd you say?
Kaya.
You ate all the candy. Already?
I feel like
Are you digging into the bag to see if there's anything
I
fun?
don't know why, because I can't have it. So it's like
I don't think we can.
stealing myself.
Yeah, I don't think we can grow candy in a plant.
There's no sticker trees.
Yeah, there's no sticker trees. Alright, so a few videos ago we thought we had a leak and then we ran the water and there was no leak. But there continues to be some sort of leak coming out of here. So he's just ripped out the, what is that called?
Shower pan.
The shower pan. And now he's getting in here to see.
What happens is, with this particular unit, this moves. See how that moves? Can
Yeah.
you see that in the video?
Yeah, I can kind of see.
So the drain's hooked to the pipe, and you compress the pipe together, and this doesn't flex. That's solid. So every time you step in here, that goes down, and it just flexes up and down, and it loosens the plumber's putty underneath the drain.
So is that board wet?
No, that's not too bad underneath there. It all drained down onto the vinyl floor and just drained out. So we're cool there.
So what are you doing to fix it? Like, what is your
Well,
strategy here?
to try and make this solid, look, it's not even bolted to the floor. I don't see any way to. I could probably make this a little more solid by putting a 2x4 here to here and here to here, and actually physically bolting it to the ground.
All right.
But I'm almost thinking about epoxying the what do you want to call it? The drain itself to the shower pan, and it epoxied on the top side. And I know if something goes bad, it's done. But I don't think it will ever happen outside the life of the camper. And then when it shifts up and down, it's epoxied. It's just not a compression. It's not held together with compression and plumber's putty.
Yeah.
It's actually completely epoxy. So I think I may go that route. And I think I may try to, I might take this whole thing apart and rebuild it my way.
You would probably be happier if you did it your way.
I don't know what I want to do. Because I only have today to do it. I wish I'd have started this yesterday.
What is that other board over there that's like...
This is the actual wheel well.
Oh, okay.
Remember how I said I wanted to I was going to lower all this?
Yeah.
And I realized when I saw back over here.
You couldn't lower it because of the wheel well.
Right there, so. But it's cool. I fit it.
Alright, well, good luck with this.
Yeah, it's never ending. I sold my house to get rid of working on stuff, and here we are.
What is that?
So I was looking at it, and like say it for me.
Traditionally?
Yeah, they use plumber putties, and then I've noticed here what looks to be is Dicor, and that's the roof sealant they use on the roof. So they didn't. So I think.
Wrong?
Well, I think they knew it was going to flex a lot, and they tried to use a kind of an epoxy. Dicor stays flexible, but
the other one doesn't.
Well, no, it's see, plumber's putty stays flexible too, but Dicor is more of like a caulk, like a roof caulk.
So are you going to use Dicor or the?
I don't know what to do. I really want to epoxy it in there, but I'm scared if I have another problem out of it, I'll never be able to get this out of the shower pan. But I don't necessarily, unless
I think that's why they use that particular one, so that it can.
Yeah, I think
they can get back in there.
It would have been a great idea too, to be honest with you, because it's flexible and it seals. But it goes up every time you get in the shower. I mean, everything's flexing and moving, so it just worked itself loose. I think what I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to rebuild this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And the reason being, they've only used like not even half-inch plywood, so to speak. And it's just, everything's real flexy. So I think I'm going to go get a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and strengthen it and actually attach this to the floor. And then I can bring this back a little bit, so the next time I got to come in here and work on this, I'll be able to get to it. But
when you go do that, I'll vacuum all that out.
Yeah, get all that out, because all that holds moisture. Yeah. And just rebuild the whole thing, and man, I tell you, every time you dig into these campers, you're like, wow, they put the least amount of money they possibly can put in them.
Why is that not that shouldn't even be?
I personally would have never built this like this, but I mean, for the...
What is that board?
It's just a piece of half-inch plywood, and then they didn't even attach it to the floor. They just put 3 screws into the wheel well, the OSB and the wheel well. And that was it. That's all it held it.
Wow.
So every time you step on it, it's got the sponginess of the, so everything's just real spongy.
Yeah.
So
I always wondered why it
when
move.
you step
but
in
but it seemed to not move in the front, but it moved in the back, like the back of it. When I would walk anywhere in the back here, it would go down, but over here it was pretty sturdy. So yeah. I don't understand.
Well, look, so they didn't even build it to this, so that if you flush it out to the wheel well, it's about a half-inch off the ground.
I see,
so
that's what
rocks.
it is. It's the wheel well, okay.
Everything just rocks. So I'm gonna take and build it where everything's solid. But I think what they tried to do, so the wheel well, this is probably level like this, and then when you do this, that's probably not level. Mm-hmm. But who knows? Because the camper's not even that level. So my brain always has a hard time with all this with campers. Like when you build from, I'm more residential,
yeah.
or commercial, and when you build from that, everything's decently square, and you're building off of concrete. And, you know what I mean? This stuff here is all this hatchet together.
Time to stretch and learn.
Yeah.
You hot back there? Yeah. This is the only way I can go anywhere anymore in Florida. This is one of those cool towels, and you wet it and it stays cool, and I'm like this all day long. I'll be putting my hair up here shortly in a second. It is 106 degrees out there. That's not the temperature in this cab, that's the temperature outside, because it's out the thermostat thing's outside. That is insane, like disgusting. See, yes, it does say 106, because that's what it is on the sun. When they give you the temperature, like if they're telling you the temperature on the news or whatever, that's what it is taken in the shade. So if you actually put a thermometer outside, and I think these in the truck are actually like under the truck, under the vehicles. So that's not even like laying on top of the truck to see what it is. It is just disgusting hot. We'll ask Daddy about that. So we have a question. So you see how it says it's 106 degrees? That's a thermometer on the truck, right? Yeah. Okay, and where is that at? Do you have any idea?
No,
is it underneath? Is it...
I have no idea.
I wouldn't think it would be on top or anything, like, because I mean, we're discussing, like, when I was telling Jason, when they tell you it's like 90 degrees, that's take it in the shade. So if you actually put a thermometer outside and you see what it is, it's going to be ridiculous. And I'm wondering if that 106 is registering because it's underneath the truck, not even on top of the truck.
Well, I don't know how you, in the sun, to my knowledge, there's no way to measure it because the material that the temperature's taken in will absorb all the radiation, like metal. Metal will get, probably 160, 180 degrees, but it's not 160 degrees outside.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm wondering, like, that 106, I wonder where the actual thermostat, or not thermostat, what am I, thermometer? Is that what I'm trying to say, my word? Words are hard.
Underneath the dashboard in this plastic, and then the sun's radiation is coming through,
yeah,
and then it's creating an oven. So that's why I tell you, when you first look at your temperature gauge, it's not accurate until you start driving down the road.
Right, but it's still, the heat made it get to 106, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you can get inside of a vehicle probably 120, 130 degrees.
That's insane.
It's Arizona.
It's yucky gross. Do you think you found something that'll work?
Yeah, it'll definitely work. I don't know if he...
What does it say? Didn't it say sink strainer?
Yeah.
So what, do they just use the same size for an RV tub as a sink? Like, kind of weird, but it went on that?
Yeah, it was the same exact thing. So it worked out perfect.
So Lowe's didn't let you down?
It's not exactly what we're after, I think.
But it's $10. And that one's what is that made out of? Versus that one's like
It's the same
plastic,
thing.
right?
Yeah, this is metal, and then this is just much deeper. So I guess we'll roll with that. That's our choice, really.
Okay. So this is what he used: bar sink strainer for $9.98.
And I also bought an extra thick rubber washer. So instead of going with a plumber's putty or an epoxy, I'm just going to try a rubber washer. See how that.
Okay.
And I'll rebuild the deck where it's really easy to get to. This is the stuff I was talking about, like
That's really thick.
yeah, not quite that thick.
You're one that
This is pine. I didn't want pine. Is this pine?
you were saying something about staying with the same thickness that I didn't get. Hold on. All right.
I'm not talking about the tub right now. I'm talking about for your
No, right.
tree videos.
Oh, so we've checked. You gotta let me know when we switch subjects. I thought you were talking about, but I want you to explain also. You were talking about changing that board under the shower,
Yeah.
but then you were concerned about the thickness because of the rest of it going back together.
Yeah, so when I make the board thicker, the sidewalls are adhered to the walls, the sidewalls of the shower. So when I pick the drain pan up, it's going to hit I might not be able to get the drain pan back in because the drain pan will be higher up and hit the bottom of the shower pan. And I just can't pull the shower pan off and raise it because it's adhered to the walls of the camper.
Yeah.
So I'm scared to go much higher because it might be real bare because it's got that foam underneath it. It might be real hard to pop it back underneath it.
Yeah.
It's going to stick with the same thickness of plywood, but I'm just going to reinforce it with 2x4 or 2x2 probably, or 2x3, something.
So back to what he's talking about. I'm wanting a cutting board, but I'm wanting it for the back room because our kitchen is so tiny. So I sit in the back when I'm cutting stuff up. I sit back there in my chair, and I need a bigger like platform to do everything on. So what's that made of?
I don't know, it doesn't say.
I think it said teak. Isn't it teak wood?
Teak project panel. I don't know what teak is. I never heard of it.
I don't know, but that looks like
Maybe
a
it
really
was,
nice size.
I forgot my phone to look up teak. I wanted to get some waterproof deck screws, and they really don't come in a lot of different sizes. I wanted to get like 2 1/4 inch screw because the trailer deck's 1 inch, and I'm going to put 1.5 inches.
Into
So So that gives me 2.5
What are
inches.
these for? These boards?
I'm going to rebuild the frame.
Oh, you're rebuilding the
I'm
frame.
going to use the plywood because I didn't really have a good piece of plywood.
So these screws are for
Just
that?
Yeah, there's exterior deck screws.
Okay. Alright, so now that you're back from Lowe's, anything you changed, or?
Yeah, I wish I'd have bought the plywood, but they didn't have any regular CDX plywood. Like the small ones, you had to buy a whole sheet, then you had to wait 45 minutes for them to rip it down. There's like, I looked 5 times for somebody around there. Lowe's is horrible anymore about employees.
Yeah, that's true. We can never find anybody. Alright, I'll check back in a second. Well, it looks a little better. Alright, so he put this leg here, and then when I stood in it before, it would either rock this way or it would rock back, but he put shims in there, so now it's really sturdy. When I stood in there, it didn't move at all.
There's still some flex to it, but it's not going to be that major flex to it. Hopefully it's going to loosen the plumbing up.
How many screws? You put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws right here? Are those all?
Yeah.
And then is it screwed into the wall, the ground here, or that's just?
No, that was the whole idea of the 2x3, so I could fasten that down.
So the legs are fastened into that,
Yeah.
and you fastened that down. The little leg you put down in there, that's fastened to the ground. Yeah, that ain't moving.
So it is.
It is what it is. All right, so he got frustrated.
Well, I couldn't. The pipes right against the wheel well, so every time you go to turn the nut, the wing of the nut would hit the wheel well. So it was impossible for me to have my arm through here, over a pipe, around the 2x4, and try to do it. So I just cut it all out.
Oh no, and I cleaned all that out so good.
But I tell you what, I ain't worried about it leaking now. That was nice and easy.
Yeah, really.
I should have did that at the very beginning.
Yeah. So this, what are we gonna do with that?
You know, I was thinking, you know, the what's that stuff called? The fiberglass backer, wall backers they use in, like, you know, kitchens and stuff like that. I'm just gonna get a sheet of that and cut it off and put it right there.
Okay.
And then I can, every time, if we ever have a problem again, it'll be super easy to get in there.
So it's all fixed up and ready to go, and he just filled it with water to see if there was going to be a leak, because we'll get that towel out of there, you're not going to know if a leak's coming or not.
Okay.
That's where the leak was coming.
Well, what it would do is leak down there and drip off the pipe, and the camper's leaning forward some, so it would just travel to here,
just
hit
travel.
the wall, and travel up.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even come to this part over here. It would go into the kitchen and try to get out the front door.
I
What are you
never
doing?
used these rubber washers.
Look at her tongue.
What you did?
Oh, Lord.
But I've never used rubber washers before, so we'll see how all this works. I've always used plumber putty, but I wanted to use a rubber washer, so hopefully the plumber's putty would eventually work loose again, and I'm hoping that rubber washer will hold and stay.
And the rubber washer is where?
In between the shower pan and the drain.
Oh, okay. So far no moisture down there?
I ain't holding.
Oh, here we go.
But it should be cool. Oh.
What? Listen to the noise.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
You thought you found a mouse?
Nice and dry.
Nice and dry? Good job, Betty.
So who makes this camper?
This is...
Forest River. Do not use Dicor. Use a rubber washer.
Alright, so what's...
So we're gonna do our focus box. I can't wait till
This is her VBS box for this week.
Okay, so we opened it up. Whoa! A sheet.
That's for the parents, so hand that to me.
It says dear guardian,
Yep.
dear parent or guardian. Oh, candy! My candy! Give me my candy. I got a focus shirt! Can I just go put this on?
Yes. Alright, let me see. It is a dress on you. Alright, what else is in there?
We got some pigs.
Oh yeah, that's one a day. You're supposed to wear one of those a day.
That's cool. Seeing God. God in creation, Roman.
But turn it around. Turn it around and look what's in it. It's a... So...
I see 3D glasses.
Yeah, 3D glasses. So that's what you're supposed to use every day. So that's for every day to be used.
Okay.
And then each...
We're gonna have a big mess. A bowl and a cup.
So don't open these because they're each day
I know.
each day is inside. So you look for day 1, day 2.
Crafting. I look at
So this would be day 2, and you see this right here? This that is duct tape. She cut all those duct tape pieces to fit.
I watched.
She filled all of this sand in this Ziploc. She did all of that. She printed all this stuff. Yeah, and I helped her. So this zebra print right there, that's a duct tape sheet. I didn't even know they made duct tape sheets. They're like 8 by 10, and she cut them all to this size and laid them all out, and I bagged them all up.
I have a good idea for the end.
It was a lot of work. We were wore out. So let's see. Each one has a day. So this is day 3, and this is a cool day. So this is a paper plate. So it's got the paper plate and the toilet paper and the paper towel tube. And on this one, you use the paper towel tube and the toilet paper tube here, and you cut your plate to do this, and you have a marble, and the marble goes on, and it just so you're making like a marble maze.